All right, mic check 1 2 1 2. Y'all know what it is. Man Cave Podcast, sports podcast. Drop the beat.
Drawing the keys on this shit now.
Man Cave Sports Podcast, live in effect. You got your host for the week, Willie P. Pass it to my man, brother in podcast. Do what you do.
What up? What up? Jae Jones in the building, man. Y'all know what it is. Lock and load time. Showtime, baby. You know what it is. Hey, at least you said the title this time, man.
I've always said the title in my three-time hostings, but thank you.
Yeah, you know, myself and G Money, who isn't with us tonight. You know, we both skipped the title the last 2 times. So yeah, that's what it is. So shout out to you remembering to say the title or the name of the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. 613 Faye Productions. You know, we're gonna get that in early and in the middle and the late and everywhere in between. You know, That's what we represent here. You know, I don't know the Pacific names, but 613 Faye Productions down there on all platforms. You'll find it, I'm sure. But yeah, like my man Jay said, my man G is out tonight. And me and Jay is here, so we're gonna hold it down for the fun.
I think G doing laundry or some shit like that, man.
You know, some shit. We know to G defense, we are a little bit behind our recording schedule. So it's a different day. So G, like I said, he probably doing some laundry or some shit. But yeah. But
true indeed, man. True shit.
You gonna jump into it. I got a little joke for you. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie.
Ain't that like a joke to start off a podcast, my brother? Go ahead and shoot that shot, my guy.
What did the 5 fingers say to the face?
Motherfucker said, slap.
So sports podcast, we're gonna start with a little joke, and we're gonna keep it a little light. I know everybody here been following the mega news, I guess you can call it, that swept across this week with at the Oscars with Will Smith slapping my man Chris Rock on stage. And
breaks out of him. I still hear that shit.
He said
ringing like a church bell out here. Face felt like a fajita coming out the back, still sizzling and shit, boy. Woo.
Yeah, it's just, I don't want to call it sad, but it's a sad story that anytime a man gets slapped that way, you know, for real or for fake, because there's a part of me that I must say I think it's fake, but it's a sad day when a man gets slapped like that, whether it's for real or for fake.
Yeah, but, I mean, I think we all thought it was fake at one point just because of the names and the stage that, you know, the big stage that it was on. We all thought it was fake, but like you said, man, I'm gonna be honest with you though, bruh. I get smacked like that in public, man. Somebody gotta die or come close to it, man. Like I ain't even trying to be funny, man. I'm just, bro. Will wasn't supposed to walk off the stage unscathed, man. That joint would have turned into a tables, ladders, and chairs match on site, bro. Like, I'm sorry. So I just want to shout out Chris Rock, man. He held it down. He held his composure. You know, you saw the little video where he, you know, looked like he was gonna let one off. I wouldn't have been mad if he let it off. I'd have just been like, yeah, well, hey, you smacking him on stage. That's, you know, what comes afterwards. But hey, you know, Will did what he felt was best, and hey, is what it is, man. So
yeah,
hey, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I've been in a situation. Have you been in a situation like that where, like,
I mean, I've been in a situation like that, but I'm going to start with, in this day and time, I would like to believe that I'm a lot more centered, that I probably could have, lot more centered than I probably could have got away with what Chris Rock did. It kind of been, okay. Well, actually, I don't know if I want to get that personal, but I may get that personal. I don't want to get that personal. I'll tell you this. I remember I was at a bar one night, and I was pissy drunk. And so I step outside because I could barely function. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing 3s and 4s. I'm in the matrix and shit. So I go outside to try to get some air. It's a nice night, and I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling, everything cool. I'm all through the side, and I see this dude. He come outside, and he getting kicked out, but I'm not really paying no attention. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I kind of turn around. It's a ruckus. I kind of just slightly turn my head, look over, see what's going on at the situation, and he going in it with the security guard and everything like that. And so he talking this shit, and I was okay. And so the nigga turned around and he look at me, and when he look at me, his demeanor changed as if he want to come towards me. He started to approach me, and I gave him like the little side eye, like, for real. And the nigga said, yeah. And I didn't say any words. I just gave him a side eye, like, for real. That's how like you said, real the situation, connected or divine the situation was. And I'm like, gave the side eye, like, for real. And the nigga said, yeah. And he came at me. And my first response was to catch him. So I caught him. And he dropped to his knees. And the security guards came and everything like that. Then he got back up. He playing Billy Badass. And, I had a little joint, pulled a little joint, little whatever. And that was that. But my first response was, hey, this dude is coming towards you as if he wants to do you some harm. I don't know him from Adam or Eve, but if anybody comes towards me like that, my first response is, do something. Yeah. There's something. That's why Chris Rock's response was out of the ordinary for most. But to his defense, he does have some type of cognitive disability, I believe it is, that he doesn't comprehend things as normal and as fast as others all the time. Him being a comedian is actually good for him because he doesn't really also sometimes see the seriousness in his jokes until after the fact. So that could have played a part into it as well. But to answer your question, I've been in that situation before.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in that situation. Now, I haven't been slapped in public. I haven't been slapped at all. Knock on wood. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, it's been a time where I was, defending my wife and shit got, I popped off and I had to be restrained or whatever like that. So, I get it. A lot of people, we believe that he was defending his wife, whether it was from, him, Chris Rock coming at, Jada with an alopecia joke, or if he was making a joke about their marriage or whatever the case might be. A lot of people internalized it as he was taking up for his wife. So I understand taking up for your wife, but me personally, I'd have did it a little differently. But Will did what he had to do, and it's consequences that come with that action. But hey. Shit is what it is, man. I'm like you though, Willie. Somebody, walk up to me, what I'm saying? I'm already in the defense mode. So, Chris Rock is better than a lot of us guys out here. And, we just hope, he can move on. And I'm sure he's going to get his bag. He's going to cash in on it somehow, some way. With a Netflix special, I'm looking forward to seeing at some point sometime. So, hey, it is what it is, and I believe Will is going to the red table to tell us, what all went into that. So that should be interesting. But I don't know. If you smack a dude, do I apologize like the next day after? I don't know. I'm stand on that shit if I smack you. You know what I'm saying? But hey. Maybe it was a PR move. Like you have to.
Yeah. It could have been a PR move. I believe it was a PR move that went bad, or maybe it went good. I don't know, but I think it was a PR move. But I don't know. I don't know if we can. It's hearsay or whatever we believe at this point until somebody says otherwise. At some point, like you say, in one of these type of specials and everything like that. But to try to go on to a little bit sports, I will say that I was informed that it was a black producer, or I believe it was a black producer and black cast that highlighted the production of the Oscars that night. That this unfortunate situation happened, whether it was real or fake. I still think it was an unfortunate situation, but I do not believe in things going in vain. I believe that all things happen for a reason. So for whatever that is, shout out to Will Packer.
Yeah, as Boondocks would
And
say, it was a nigga moment.
but,
Moments could be avoided, but hey,
and they could be avoided. But we gonna do what we do. Like you said, the nigga moment. Like another Boondock favorite of mine, like my man Riley said, they gonna pay what you gonna pay what you owe, Santa. So whether we had a nigga moment or not, in our first moment to shine on that stage of the Oscars, you gonna pay what you owe, Santa. So you still owe us some more.
Yeah, it was a bad moment all the way around. I wish it didn't happen, but it happened. So, like I said, consequences, bro. It happened. So probably ain't gonna be hosting no more shit.
Actually, you have any memorable fights in sports history that come to mind?
Man, do I? Man, yeah, man. Definitely, most definitely. I got like at least 5 I can rattle off the top of my head, man. Cause it's crazy. Cause I was actually thinking that when I saw that, I was like, damn. Like the next day or two, I was like, man, it's got to be some crazy ass fights that took place in sports. And of course, I'm gonna give you my top 5, starting with the 5th, right? So I don't know if a lot of people. I'm gonna start with baseball. I don't know if a lot of people remember when Joey Bautista he hit the dude from the Rangers, Odor. He slid into second base all crazy. Got up. He came at my man Odor. Odor stuck him. Bow. One of them Jones, real quick and easy. Shocked him real quick, It wasn't really nothing too crazy. It wasn't like, what I'm saying, on Sports Center. I mean, it was on Sports Center, but it wasn't like you had to really kind of like be watching it to like really,
he just let him know this ain't what you want.
Yeah, he just told him like, nah, G, I'm not the one. And sometimes you just gotta let niggas know, like, I'm not that one to be stolen. So, you gotta stuck him one time, right? Then of course, Andre Johnson tagging my man Cortland Finnegan, back in 2012, you know what I'm saying? Cortland Finnegan was doing that Bama shit, right? And man, Andre Johnson being, Andre Johnson, quiet dude, don't really say much, don't really do too much. So he had to say something. And Andre caught him with the bop, bop, you know what I'm saying? 1, 2, you know what I'm saying? Had him lean back one time. And another one of mine, of course, is being a former Knicks fan, man. When Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson got the swinging and got the fighting and tussling at it and shit like that. Although neither one of them connected, which was really sad. But it was just interesting to see that shit, man. 2 former teammates and things like that. And Jeff Van Gundy was at the bottom of the pile, which made the shit funnier. The University of Miami in the FIU brawl. I don't know if you remember that. They got the brawling on the field. One of the players from Miami got a helmet and was like hitting one of the players, and the announcers and shit was on the one of the announcers was like, yeah, that's what happens when y'all cross that bridge. You know what I'm saying? You get your ass.
He was about that. He was up there feeling like he was somewhere else, huh?
Yeah, he said it too. He said it. He was like, man, I was about to run down on the field. You know what I'm saying? That's what made that fight 10 times better. Like, how many times do you hear an announcer talking about he going down to get into a fight, like to get into an all-out brawl? That shit was wild. Another New York Knicks moment is when this is my second, out of the 6 that I named, this is the second one out of my top 6 when Carmelo Anthony caught Jared Jeffries. Man, I don't know if you remember that, but yo, Hey, like that Will Smith slap with Chris Rock. Hey, that mellow jab. Hey, you heard that shit through the whole arena, bruh.
Hey, look. Me personally, I thought that was some of the weakest shit that I've ever seen Melo do. I'm a huge Melo fan, but that is something that I felt like really. But I guess we all have some our moments. I won't hold it, too much to him. But he stole, cuz I think he two-pieced him. And then he
caught him.
He backpedaled. Is that when he backpedaled all the way down the fucking court? He stole him, and then he backpedaled the whole length of the court. He didn't give my man an opportunity. If you're gonna do that to a nigga, I'm sorry, but if you're gonna do that to a nigga, especially in the environment that you in, you didn't give him a chance. Look, at least when Will Smith did it, he gave Chris Rock the opportunity to defend himself. So in that moment, I can say I didn't like that move by Carmelo Anthony one bit. I thought that was some weak shit. I really did. I was just like, man, two-piece them, okay, cool. But then you backpedal the length of the court. Come on, man.
Hey, I didn't say it was. I didn't say it was no R&S shit, man. I just said he caught him. It rung a bell, like, you know what I'm saying, like the Chris Rock smack. The Will Smith slap. Yeah, he should have squared up with him. You know what I'm saying? Brody was trying to come after him. Hey, but that when he stole him, cuz that shit rung throughout the arena, man.
It was swift. It was swift. It was nice. It really was. I just didn't like that back pedal.
I ain't like it neither. I was like, damn, dog, you should at least squared up with him one more time. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I wasn't there. I was just watching. So I was shit. It got real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. It was crazy because Nate Robertson was like the smallest on the court, and he was like trying to square up with everybody.
Well, we already see what happened with Nate though. Nate got a lot of fight in him, but not a lot of. He got a lot of bark in him, but not a lot of bite. He be on the club. He be sleepy.
Hey man, but a lot of NBA players ain't really about that life, man. That's why you see all these, skirmishes and shit like that. Now, one person, and I think you all know what my top, fight moment is. It's no surprise, man. But the Malice in the Palace. I mean, come on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It don't get no crazier than that. Ron Artest, Jermaine O'Neal, all them, you know what I'm saying? And like a Boondocks episode, a chair was thrown in the palace. You know what I'm saying? Which got it even more out of control. But yeah, those are my top. I think I named 6. So those are my top 6, you know what I'm saying, fight moments that I can remember. And I'm pretty sure I left off, quite a few. But those 6 to me right there stand out the most to me, so but hey. But that shit, man, I'm sure some other sports like soccer and shit that got some more fights. But
I mean, like you mentioned, the baseball. When I think about it, I didn't give it too much thought initially, but when I think about it, baseball is they always out there joint rumbling. Teams always.
But see, that's the thing. Like, that's what made it stand out for me with baseball, because a lot of the times, like, right, you see the batter here rush the pitcher, and they be trying to grab, they be pushing and shoving, like the NBA in a sense, like. They don't really get no, or they swing all wildly and miss, but like this particular time, like, bow, right on the chin and ate it. Scooby snack style.
Now, then the hockey, the hockey too, we already know about hockey. Right. They let them go ahead, drop their gloves, get it in, get it going, get it popping, So I can't really call it. I know there's always some wild things going on in the baseball and the hockey field. I'm gonna bring it back to my NBA real quick because I'm a huge basketball fan, and I really dislike when people say that the NBA is soft and basketball is not a contact sport, because you're talking to an individual who most definitely made contact when I played that sport. So I don't see it like that at all. But I'm gonna keep it there, and I'm gonna go with my man. Like
Charles Oakley on the court or some shit.
Nah, not at all. I I was smooth, man. I was smooth. You know, I was smooth. That's what I will say. I was nice. I was quick. I was nice. You know, at one point in time, I was most definitely one of the better one of the better players that you would be able to see. But that was at one point in time, and an early point in time, and it's just my recollection and those who can agree. But that's the no there.
Hey man,
But
yeah, go ahead and get your shit on.
so my man Kobe, that's my man, may he rest in peace. The Black Mama.
I left
When he
that
got
off
two
on
P
purpose.
like Chris
Yeah.
Childs. Nah.
Yeah. And you know, I left that off. You know what I'm saying? I left it off on purpose because I didn't want to bring that up. But you know, being a former Knick fan, that's always gonna stand out to me. Yeah.
That was beautiful, man. That was beautiful, even to this day, because I like I said, I'm a diehard Kobe Bryant fan. You know that sound like it the wrong choice of words, but babe, like I said, may he rest in power, may he rest in peace, and reincarnate in power.
Yes,
But
sir.
I'm a fan of. I really love basketball, but I really adore boxing too. And that Chris Child two piece was nice because Kobe tried. Kobe tried, you know, both times Kobe hands went like he was trying to swing. But Chris Child like that.
Yeah, real quick. Step and move, guys.
So I had to put that on there. You know, I couldn't leave that on. That most definitely jumped out to me. Of course, I had the Malice and the Palace. There's a ton of NBA too, especially when you talk about 80s, early 90s. You know, we can go on and on and on and on and on. One that I like was just like a stunner moment. You know, every now and then I like to stunt, but it was like a stunner moment. I can't remember who it was though. You know, I'm hoping you know you can help me out. When Dion was in Atlanta, he had to they weren't really fighting. They had a little.
It was Andre Rising. How did I leave that joint off?
Yeah, that joint was like that little stunner moment. Like they you know what I'm saying? That was
they was on the line and Dion hit it with the like, you know what I'm saying? Like 3 of them Jones. He let them off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I definitely remember that. Yeah, that was definitely a moment. That was I can't believe I left that one off, young.
Yeah, I was digging that joint. Yeah, I was digging that joint. That
definitely a moment. Definitely a moment right there. Yeah.
And I mean, and another one that jumped out to me because I thought it got Jae real, and I was new to it. I didn't see it when it happened. I think I just saw it more recently. But when it was the Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight versus Zab Judah, when like the whole camps got into it and shit, and everybody jumped in the ring. You know, Pops and Uncle's in that joint, and you know, Pops on Zab's side was in that joint, and you know, they was like, "Yeah, this is what we do."
Yeah, we about that. We hit
this what we do. However, you know what I'm saying? But what made that moment so special is the poise and the understanding of Floyd Mayweather Jr. himself. You know, Money Mayweather. My man was like, there's nobody can say that I'm not about that life because I proved this shit day in, day out, time to time against the greatest in the world. But right now, I'm a professional. Ultimate professional. He was like, I'm a professional. I didn't come here to do that. I came here to do what I do between these rounds, you understand, and with these gloves. I'm gonna wait it out. They gonna figure it out. We're gonna get back to this money. And that joint, I just love that shit. I just love that shit.
That's definitely a moment right there. Definitely a moment.
Yeah, but that was my 5 that came out to me. I'm glad they came out. That was a great point that was put on the docket by no other. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy? It was another. I mentioned this one too. This is a back in the day joint. If y'all don't remember this, YouTube this joint. It was real quick. It was the 76ers versus the Utah Jazz, right? And it was Jerry Stackhouse and Jeff Hornacek. Jeff Hornacek fouled him real hard going up. They got into a little tangle. Arms got tangled up. Stackhouse turned around and gave to him 2 or 3. I think he broke his nose, broke Hornacek's nose too, man. I said, damn, why you do the little white boy like that, man? Yeah, that man.
I remember Hornacek with the broken nose.
That's why. I think that's why, because he had the mask on for a while.
Yeah.
Stackhouse, man. Jerry Stackhouse let that shit fly, man. So, yeah, man. That's why too. That was one I wanted to. I forgot I left off the list too, man. But you definitely had some definitely some good joints too. I definitely left off too, man. That Dion and Andre Rison shit definitely.
Yeah, that joint just had me rolling. I just it was just like I said, it was just a stunning moment for me. I ain't really see no like they weren't really called to no, you know what I'm saying? It was just
emotions, competitive emotions. When you on the field, on the court like that, sometimes, the emotions get the best of you. And I believe after that game, or shortly after that, I believe they ended up hashing it out. Like they ended up talking and, you know what I'm saying? Pieced it up.
Yeah, they seemed like they would try to hurt each other up like that. They were just out there, stunting on each other.
Again, I told you sometimes you just gotta let folks know, like I'm that dude. You know what I'm saying? And Dion was, especially back in the early '90s, was that dude.
Yeah, prime time, baby. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, most definitely. But I don't know how. Well, I guess it is true. But I heard Dion say one time that personification of prime time was actually a detriment to him, and that's why he went to finding Christ later on in his life, because like so many individuals who put on these personifications, who put on these I'll call them masks, I guess, for easy, but put on these masks, they get caught up in that role. And he said that prime time was most definitely a flamboyant role that caught up to him and caused a lot of shit to happen in his life that caused him to find a better life. So
I'm sure.
More power to him.
Yeah, shout out to that. Now he in Jackson State doing this thing, man. So shout out Coach Prime.
Yeah, Jackson State's making moves, man. He out there making history. He most definitely making history. Like you said, shout out to Coach Prime.
I think he got him a new facility, like a new workout facility, from what I've seen on social media. Yeah, because a lot of the HBCUs, when it comes to like their workout facilities, their locker rooms, it's not what the with the D1 schools are like. So I believe he gave them that experience, man. So he's definitely doing his thing out in Jackson State as well as in the HBCU, whole sports division. So definitely shout out Coach Prime.
Yeah, my son was talking about that a couple of days ago. He was giving me numbers of the comparison of a smaller school compared to a larger school. When we was watching the NCAA and everything, and he was like, this school gym only holds 2,000 people max. This gym holds 20,000 people. Their budget is 2,000 or maybe let me say like 12,000, and their budget is 3, 4, 5 million, just for the basketball program. So it's most definitely a beautiful thing because we got to start somewhere, and a little bit off sports. Something I read, because I like to give politics and a lot of people a hard time sometimes. I read that the Biden administration gave 5.8 billion, or was it billion? 5.8 billion, I want to say, to HBCU schools.
Oh, billion, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I think I was reading something else. It was a different category. My bad. Go ahead, though.
But to HBCUs, I don't know if it's. I didn't really look into it. I seen that they appointed. Taraji P. Henson, she had posted on, I believe, her Instagram page that they had appointed her to some type of union or committee representing HBCUs and everything like that. But I found it magnificent, to use nice words. I found it magnificent that they donated 5.8 billion to HBCUs, because to my I thought they did nothing. I didn't do my homework on it, but that sounds nice to me.
Yeah,
we didn't jump everywhere and everything like that, but I'm gonna go back to minorities, and the NFL have passed something saying that they're required to hire minority individuals, whether it be girl, like LGBTQ community, or of what are the I forgot, but minority individuals. They tried to make it sound, some kind of way. They put us all in there. Should I say as a minority? They put us all in there.
Right. They boxed us in there.
How do you feel about that?
It sounds good. Of course, it sounds good, but man, it's like the NFL. You got a lot of people. I believe you have people in the NFL that want change, right?
Mhm.
You have these people, like you have. I think Roger Goodell even wants change to, on a certain level, but it's just like, man, like I still think that the coaches or the executives or owners, whoever, are always going to find a way to check the box off, but still keep us in that position. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's sad that they have to keep like putting in these like incentives and stuff like these, these criterias and things like that. But just like they did with the having an interview a black coach or a minority coach or whatever, like, yeah, they'll probably do it, but what's the chances that them getting the opportunity that they're trying to get, right? So it sounds good in theory. We'll see how it goes. Some teams, I believe Tampa Bay already had, and I even believe your Commanders have like some women in on the franchise doing things like that.
Mhm.
But I just think that it's just one of those things that could easily be, you know, maneuvered and manipulated, and like they'll find a way around it. You know what I'm saying? It sounds good, but we'll see how it goes. But I think it's just something that they're gonna miss. But I also want to say this too.
Mhm.
It's also the coaches too. Like I know we talk about how the owners are racist and things
Yeah.
like that. A lot of the owners, but I think a lot of the like you got to put some blame on the coaches too, because the coaches are the ones that hire the offensive coordinators, the defensive coordinators, and things like that. The offensive coordinators as well as the defensive coordinators have to fit their scheme, right?
Mhm.
So they're more hands on to who they pick as their coordinators and their coaches. We just saw Mike Tomlin pick up, he just signed Brian Flores to his team. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because that was his man's, right? First and foremost. So he was like, nah, I want to hire, that's my man's. So sometimes you got to look at the coaches too. I think you got to also hold them accountable as well, because they have more hands-on hiring the offensive coordinators and the defensive coordinators than the actual owners. I think the owners have to be a little bit better when they come to choosing their coaches as well. So I think it all kind of correlates together, if that all makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. You made a mention of how basically it's affirmative action, I would say, right? They're,
Yeah,
they're,
like
they're basically forcing you in a sense to say, hey, you have to make this thing fair because they're crying and they pouting. So give them some. Like let's
yeah.
do this. To shut up, they holler. Like throw a couple
Let's show
dollars and
that we
shut up.
care.
They holler.
Let's show that we're trying type
Let's
situation.
let's for me, I do not like it. One bit. I will say, as a minority, we'll take it. Sometimes you have to take what the D gives you. I mean, defense
Yeah,
gives you, and
pause that.
and and
You cleaned it up though. You cleaned it up.
well, sometimes you have to take what the D gives you, and
Oh
and,
shit.
and nah, no, I'm on one tonight, but no, for real. All jokes aside, we'll take it, and because like we've shown before, we can do a lot with a little. So
Yeah.
you know,
We,
open up. It's only a matter of time. I'm glad that it's being acknowledged. I don't like that it seems like they're throwing a dog a bone type of thing, because if you are a respectable coach who feel as if you deserve this job, you don't want to feel like it was given to you simply because there's some type of clause in place that you have to have it.
right.
It can be a detriment to you, as an individual. But I don't think that most will look at it that way, and so we'll take it. I really think it was I don't know, man. You like we keep saying they're trying, but sometimes I don't like when people try too hard. It's like why are you trying so hard? It's something about that turns me off.
Well, part of me feels like it has something to do with the Brian Flores lawsuit. Like, I think maybe some of it has a bit to do with that. So it's like, we want to show that we are doing something, that we're continually trying to progress the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, Brian Flores dropped the lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all you kind of hear outside of the crazy shit that's happened in free agency. So it's just like they got so much backlash and harsh, about the, Rooney Rule. The NFL, even Goodell came out and said, like, made some comments how like they had been basically messing up and been fucking up. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's a step in the right direction, but I still think that it's a way for them to just check off the box. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how like when you go to work or whatever, and it's like, oh, well, shit, we need to get a black guy or Hispanic guy or LGBTQ.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta diversify it a little bit. So I feel like,
You gotta meet
man,
your quota.
yeah, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had some teams had already started doing it. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see how it goes. Because even if you get hired as an offensive coach, doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna get a coordinator job or you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
you're just a coach. But I guess they look at the NBA. They're trying to do. They got a lot of, we're trying to get a lot of women as well. In the game, trying to diversify. So I guess they just try to, take a page out of that and move forward with it. But we'll see how it goes. Shit, my team ain't had a black coach the whole time they existed, or I don't think a minority on the team. So I mean, on the coaches, in a position like that. So we're gonna see if the change is, how it goes from there. So
Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time when we're talking about the scheme of time. The population of the NFL is predominantly, we keep it. No, let's say black. It's predominantly black and minorities.
yeah,
So
it is.
it's only a matter of time before the whole start to represent that, to its real,
Some of the
real statistics.
some of these owners gotta go, man. Some gotta go. Some of them
um,
gotta go.
Talking about owners, NFL OT rule change. Owners voted 29-3 to change the old rule change of the overtime in the postseason. Um, we talked about this a good bit, I would say, amongst ourselves and on this podcast. I didn't really
Yeah.
look too much into it because I was like, but OT rules changed. I was like, man, we talked about it. You know what I'm saying? My brother kept telling me,
Yeah.
it's going to happen. Here it is, Jay, telling you
Hey,
folks what happened.
hey, man. It's been a few times on here where I have been, I have called it, so, but that I saw them changing. And like you mentioned before, we spoke about it, right after, the Bills and Chiefs. That's why they
Yeah,
initially changed it after the classical game that they gave us, man. But you know how I feel. I don't like it. I think it's whack as shit. I think it's another way for them to give the offensive, the ball, and it's kind of like you take the defensive aspect away from football, man. Like you like Cincinnati stopped Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? To go to the
yeah,
Super Bowl, you know, leave it in the defense's hands. Like, if you can stop them, then you can stop them. Like, Buffalo was ranked, I think, between like top 5 defense in the league, and they had 13 seconds to stop Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's easy. Of course, this Kansas City was explosive, but like, dog, if they would have stopped them within that 13 seconds, we wouldn't even be talking about an OT rule change.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I thought the shit was whack, but I knew they was going to change it because, offenses, that's what sales tickets. That's what, people pay to see. And of course, we all would have liked to see Josh Allen get another opportunity at it. But hey, Your defense couldn't hold them. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's some shit. I think they should have left it the way it was. The NFL is always they always make a change to try to better the game. But sometimes I think those changes complicate the game a little bit more. And this is one of those times where I think they complicate it. Like they're always changing the rules, some type of overtime rules. Because you remember when
they said that rule changed in 2010. They changed it to.
But I think the shit changed. I think because remember when it had been changed a few times or whatever, or like when Donovan McNabb was like, man, he didn't even know the overtime rules. You know what I'm saying? They should have left this shit alone. They should have just left it the way it was, man, and went like that, man. But I understand it. Now watch, somebody's team's gonna get fucked over in the next year or two, and they're gonna be like, oh, let's change it to. You gotta score a 2-point conversion to win the game. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some other shit.
They did say it was fan driven. The main part of the reason for them changing it was fan driven. They said they listened to the fans, and this is something that obviously the fan has been talking about. So like you say, it does seem like a game that they're willing to modify as I think the proper name for it was the overtime modification rule that they're willing to modify to fit the likeness and the entertainment needs of the fans. So it's an evolving game, like an evolving world we live in, I guess.
But simplify it, man. It was what it was, man. Like, give the defense, let the defense stop them. If your defense can't stop them, then you lose, man. And they kick a field goal or score. Like, if you get the coin toss and your defense can't stop them, then that's the L you take, man. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like, I mean, we still don't know what a catch is. I mean, shit, they got reviews, challenges, all this stuff. Like, we still don't know what a catch is. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit's just ridiculous. I mean, they didn't add the challenges and the replays. I mean, damn. So, we'll see. Just like in the Saints game when a guy had the pass interference and shit like that. Yeah, it was a missed call, but now they didn't change the rule. This, come on, man.
They for lack of better words, they like to please the bitch. They like to please they bitch. They bitch ain't happy. Hey, we gotta make it happy. We gotta keep it happy and make our lives better. Couple dollars, shut up to holler. Most definitely can dig it. I mean, like you stated, there's two sides of the ball. There's the offense and the defense. I think, and that's why it's a team game, though, with two sides of the ball. So I think they should have kept the way that they had it. But since they didn't, we most definitely can look forward to, I would say, a lot more excitement when it comes to the overtime.
It's gonna be more offense. I mean, it's already an offense-driven league. You throw the ball down the field, everybody getting the pass. It's an automatic first down because the defensive backs act like they never played defensive back, and they get called for pass interference every time they, turn around. They look so lost in space. So that's a free play right there. You need to get down the field, just throw that shit 50 yards down the field. You're gonna get a flag. It's an offensive-driven league. That's what they wanted. So that's what they're gonna get. We gonna see, man.
I'm most definitely a fan of both offense and defense. But yes, keep it with the NFL. Head coach Bruce Ahrens retires from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Unexpected, I would say.
Yeah. Unexpected, mate. Yeah, that shit was definitely unexpected, man. Especially with Tom Brady coming back. Nobody expected the head coach to retire, but it seems like Tom Brady coming back was one of the reasons why he did retire, if not the main reason he retired. So and going back, I know we just talked about the rule that the NFL put in place for the minority hires. He was one of the coaches that did have a diversified staff. So, he had black men, women on his staff, and he didn't just do it. Like, he was one of the first coaches. He was the first coach to hire a female to his staff back in like 2015, I believe. So he was definitely one of the pioneers and the first to do that. He's always had Byron Leftwich and Todd Bowles as his coordinators and things like that. And he left the team to his man Todd Bowles. So he wanted to set him up for success, and he did. And I definitely give him a shout out for that, man, because a lot of coaches, a lot of people don't do that. So it was surprising, but I'm not mad at it though. And he's still in the organization. He just went to a higher position. So I'm with it.
I'm with it. I'm with it too. I mean, I'm with it for a few different reasons. Like you mentioned, Todd Bowles. I'm not hella familiar with him, but as a black man, I'm very thankful. I'll leave it there. I'm very thankful when I see advances, as little as they may be. Sometimes I may seem like I take them for granted, but I'm very thankful when I see those type of advantages. So I like that, but I do think, just to speculate a little bit, I do think it was very interesting that he
what you about to say.
that he I don't know, but that he stepped down when Tom Brady came, because it's kind of like I mean, you can most definitely touch on your thought, because like I said, I'm not hella familiar with him. I'm saying I just like the look. I like how it looks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know his credentials. I'm sure he has them, because he wouldn't be in the position that he was already in if he didn't. I'm glad that Brian, what's his name? I don't want to forget his name. Bruce Ahrens, right? What the fuck is his name? Bruce Ahrens. I'm glad that he's a forward thinker, and he's always had the heart and just the heart and soul to do the right thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I do feel maybe he felt like, I mean, because in my opinion, Tom Brady is a coach. You don't need no motherfucking coach it's not on the offensive side if you got Tom Brady. Like, I don't, not to discredit any other coach, but if you got Tom Brady on the offensive side, you don't need a coach. And I think maybe he felt a little, I don't want to say intimidated, but maybe belittled, or maybe, we talk about Tom Brady here. So I'm sure there was a lot of power and leeway that was given to him, on the field, off the field, throughout the team and everything else.
Oh yeah. Brady.
And he probably felt like, I don't want to do this shit show, maybe in his eyes, or this circus, or this, I don't want to be a part of it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'll step aside and I go up and I stay a part of the organization because I want to see us win. But I it just seemed like maybe those two men could work side by side, or maybe he just felt it was time.
It's been a lot of speculation that the relationship between Brady and Bruce Arians were, they may have had some friction at one point in time. Me personally, I don't think that's the case. I think that, they're both, when you're playing sports, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're competitive, right? And they've both been in the game long enough. Bruce Arians has been a coach for a long period of time. Tom Brady, we already know his resume. So it's like, they probably did have moments where they clashed, had disagreements and things like that about, how to attack a defense or whatever the case might be. But I don't think he stepped down because of it. I don't think he stepped down because of Brady. I honestly think, and this is me jumping out on a limb, I just think that he did it out the kindness of his heart, man. Like, he knows what black coaches go through as far as being interviewed. You know what I'm saying? An interview process. He knows how that shit goes. So he just said, you know what? Like, we just won a chip a year ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tom Brady just came back. Man, let me put my mans in them in position to, you know what I'm saying? To have a winning team. You know what I'm saying? Because Todd Bowles, he was one of the head coaches that was on a sorry team. And he was on the Jets. He had a shitty record. So I think he was just like, let me put my man in position so he'll have a good team to go out there and win the chip, for. But some people think that he should have left it with Byron Leftwich.
I like that. Yeah, I've been following Byron since where he was at Marshall.
Yeah,
Where you go? Yeah, I've been following
yeah,
Byron.
Marshall.
Yeah, I don't
I
follow many,
mean,
but I follow Byron.
it would have been nice. I mean, but like you said, it's the look. Like he didn't have to step down. He didn't have to pass it along to his mans. He could have been, let them find another coach or whatever the case might be. But I think he did a good thing. I think he did it out of, I think he did it out the kindness of his heart. Like I said, he knows what the process is for black coaches, minority coaches. So he said, "Shit, I'm gonna give you the keys to the, to the car. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's on you, B." And they gave him a 5-year extension from what I read. So um,
For real?
he, yeah. So they, it's gonna be the hard part is gonna be what happens when Brady leaves. You know what I'm saying? Like that's gonna be the challenging part of it. So
When we see your coaching chops.
yeah, like how does he play out the whole 5 years, or we'll see what goes on. But I appreciate Bruce Arians, man. You need more coaches like him in the NFL, man. So shout out to him and the Buccaneers organization for the opportunity.
And most definitely shout out to Bruce Aaron. Most definitely a good look. How about Jerry Jones? I've been hearing some things about Jerry. He with them cowgirls, so I don't really follow them cowgirls. If y'all don't know, you know what I'm saying. Commander fan here. I'd heard some things that made me rethink that too. But we gonna keep it with Jerry right now and them cow. Yeah, keep it
I'm
with
gonna be
Jerry.
honest with you. I don't really. I read that he had He sounds like he getting extorted or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the young lady who's claiming to be his daughter is extorting him for some money, some crazy shit like that. It just sound like some regular, you know what I'm saying? Like regular family. I ain't gonna say regular family shit, but it sounds like
So rich family,
yeah,
rich
you know
people.
what I'm saying? Like, it's
Well,
not no surprise, man. Jerry in the headlines more than the actual Cowboys, man. So I don't know how that shit's gonna work out. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was trying to understand it. It looked like somebody, like I said, was setting them up for extortion, man. So, we'll see how that shit plays out, man. But yeah, that seems to be a common thing when you got bread, So we'll hear about it, I'm
yeah,
sure.
yeah, Jerry, man, go talk to that girl, man. Go talk to that girl. She don't gotta be treating you that way, man. If that's your daughter, you don't want your blood treating you that way. Go talk to her. Let her have some of the money, man. Treat her a little better than you treating her. Obviously, when she feel like she gotta take you to court or she gotta try to blackmail you, man. You understand? That shouldn't be
Mhm.
happening. Come on, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry
You
got
know,
chilled after this too, man. Jerry got to fall back, man. Like we don't need to hear shit from Jerry no more, man. Like Jerry got to fall back. I know he gonna say some shit after the draft, but Jerry need to fall back, man.
yeah, like I said, we talking to a Commander fan here and myself. I like that. I like that
That friction and
that.
shit.
Yeah, I like this shit. That's what we thrive on. We thrive off of shit like that. So Jerry, Dan, they all right by me until their time is called. They all right by me.
Yeah, all right.
They ain't hurt me. That's what damn sure.
Hey,
So,
neither am I. Not me and eating that. Hey, you know what?
yeah,
I was like, man, hey, do what y'all gotta do, man.
but yeah, but no,
Hey,
all
hey,
seriousness, all
crazy
seriousness.
white folks news.
We do not condone the fuck shit, okay? But y'all, we ain't judging you, but we don't condone the fuck shit either.
Yeah,
But do what
man.
y'all do.
Yeah. Get your lawyers and shit, man. Do y'all thing, man.
Um, right now, right now, actually, we have the women's final four going on. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, South Carolina, number one seed South Carolina just beat number one seed Louisville and the
Yeah.
NCAA Women Final Four. And on the other side, we got Connecticut and Stanford. I mean, God, yeah, Connecticut and Stanford playing
Yeah.
on the other side right now. Try to get a live update in a few minutes on what the score is. That is, but shit, man, them two down to the nitty gritty already. You know, it's about to be two.
Yeah.
What you thinking? Initially, I thought I like UConn. I'm not too sure what they're doing right now, but if they
They
don't
up
have their
one right
center
now.
back, what's going on?
They up one right now at half.
What's okay? What's the
UConn
score?
up one.
UConn up one.
Yeah.
They have their center back. Then she like.
I was watching. I just flipped the channel. I give you a better synopsis.
Okay.
They're at halftime right now. So after
Okay.
halftime, they I'll let you know. I'll definitely let you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Every time I make a prediction on this podcast, yeah, it seemed like the next day or two the team end up losing. I feel like I got that Drake like type of shit going on, man. But
yeah.
I do like South Carolina. Matter of fact, Aaliyah Boston, she just won Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, and Don Staley just won Coach of the Year. So they definitely, I'm sure, are the favorites. So I definitely would like to see them win it. But North Carolina State, they are tough. I don't know if y'all seen. I'm sorry, not North Carolina State. UConn. I was actually getting ready to go back to the game that they played. I believe it was Monday night, and it was a double overtime game, and it was a really, really good game. So UConn is definitely about that life. Stanford is definitely about that life. So either way it goes, it's gonna be a good game, whoever they face. And I'm just looking forward to seeing it, man. Like these ladies hoop, they do their thing. So
yeah, but so they was hooping. I caught that game. I haven't been able to catch a lot of the games that been going on in the Final Four.
That was the one to catch. That was the one.
I caught that. Yeah, I caught that one.
That was the one to catch. Yeah.
UConn looked good early. They look good early, but they most definitely like I said, my perspective changes. I'm not too sure. I should have looked into it a little bit more, but I remember they center. I think there was the center. She went down. Man, I think she messed up her wrist or something like that in that double overtime game. Early in that game, she went down. They center went down because UConn was looking pretty dominant at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And their center went down and she messed up her wrist, and that's what got North Carolina State back into the game. Even though North Carolina State had look. I don't know. I'm really enjoying women. They had some bulldogs over there, man. Some little pit bulls over there, man. Like them little.
And I be trying to. You know what I'm saying? I was watching it. I was on my way to work, so I was catching it. Like I had the game on like my phone as I was. I don't want to indict myself and nothing like that. I wasn't watching and driving, but I was listening and driving. But North Carolina State, what's her name? Kai Crutchfield and Brown Turner, like and Kyla Jones, like those young ladies, they was out there.
What's the Perez? Don't they have a Perez or Latin lady over there, Latin woman over there, Latin young lady over there?
They probably do.
What's her name?
I can't remember, but those were the young ladies that stuck out to me. It was another young lady. I think her name was Diamond Johnson. Like these Brown Turner who hit the three to send it into overtime. Like they hoop, and like you said, UConn. They got my girl Paige over there. She was hurt a lot. She was hurt early in the year, so she came back and she gave them 15 in overtime. So women's basketball, I know they don't dunk and they don't have the poster dunks like the guys do, but these ladies, they hoop, bro. Like they real live, man. Like I'll watch a women's game in a minute, man. Like they hoop.
Yeah, they very very skilled players, got to be knowledgeable of the game because, like you said, they just can't jump over their defender. They're not going to blow past them most time. So you really see a more technical part of the game that you may not see when you watch the men's, where you see more of athletic side of the game. But yeah, they be balling. Perez, I don't know, but Raina Perez, I believe is how you pronounce it, something like that. That's the the no offense, but I don't know how to say it, but no bueno, but no for real. Brenda Perez, she was a beast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really like watching Perez.
Yeah, they ball, man. I would like to see South Carolina win. I hope I don't jinx them, young. I pray I don't jinx them. Every time I predict a team, they fuck around and lose the next day or two, young. So
Yeah.
I hope I'm safe with that.
I initially had, I don't know, man. Like you said, all three teams that's left, I do think they all have a shot. Stanford,
Yeah.
UConn, and South Carolina are already set in stone right now for the championship game of the NCAA women's side of this bracket of March Madness. You already have South Carolina set in stone. So between Connecticut and Stanford, Connecticut, you said it's up one at the half right now, and as we speak. Depending on if they, like I said, I should have did my research, but depending on if they have their center, I'm going with Connecticut all the way. Paige, number 5, I just learned the name. You know what I'm saying? Like she got the whole
hoops.
baller. Yeah, she got it all. She looked like it. She looked like a baller. You know what I'm saying? Like
She is
yeah,
bona
yeah,
fide baller, young. She can hoop. She hoops, and then
yeah,
overtime, that junk was like butter, baby. That junk, man.
yeah,
She's coming off the picks. Splash, bitch. Splash. Like, man, she hoop, bruh. Like, man, they hoop, man.
yeah. They do hoop. You know what I'm saying? These ladies most definitely. Shout out to the ladies, man. We got
Definitely.
the men on the men's side of the Final Four will be played as the day we air, you guys. So you motherfuckers, sorry, you better check us out first,
Nah, you
and
said it right.
then
You motherfuckers better check us out.
and then later on that day we have Villanova versus Kansas. And I've been watching Villanova and Kansas. I'm watching both of them. And then you have UNC and Duke. Classic over here.
Woo!
Absolute
Shit.
classic.
Yeah, man. Again, I don't want to jinx because when the tournament started, y'all know who I picked to win it. I picked Duke to win it. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying that I don't jinx them either. Doing a bracket, I actually have Duke and Kansas in my Final Four, of course. But I think it's gonna be two good games. Of course, the Duke and UNC game is gonna probably set record numbers because it's Duke and UNC. And I find it interesting that it's the first time that they've ever met in March Madness. I think in the Final Four. As good as both programs are, they've never met, in a Final Four. They've played both in a Final Four, of course, but at the same time, but they never played each other. So it's definitely gonna be fun to watch. I just pray that it lives up to the hype that it's getting around it.
Yeah, Coach K. How fitting. How fitting.
So I told y'all, man.
Yeah.
I told y'all. How good would it be for Coach K after UNC spoiled the last game in Duke, right? They beat Duke and UNC beat Duke on Coach K's last game at Duke. How fitting would it be for Duke to beat UNC to go play for a national title? Like, man, you can't write that shit no better, man.
Yeah, you can't write it. Yeah, you can't. It's fairy tale and Cinderella story endings most definitely has been the talk of this March Madness. But like I said, I do think it's a special one because we have Coach K as being his final his final dance possibly, with maybe this is it. We may see his final game, or we may see his final 2 games.
Yeah.
But I'm pushing for 2. I'm pushing for 2. I think Duke has the most to fight for. I think if we're going out there and if you're judging your opinion on who has the most to fight for, because I think at the end of the day, I don't know. I think UNC may be a little bit more talented than Duke. I think they already showed that. On the other side of the bracket with Villanova and Kansas, I think that's going to be a great game. Actually, I think that's going to be a better game than UNC and Duke.
Well,
I've been watching.
It could be. I like Kansas though. I like Kansas though. Too.
I like Kansas. I think Kansas may be the one who get it all.
Okay.
Kansas might be the one who get it all because right now I think Kansas is playing like they want it all. But Duke most definitely has the most to play for, and I would love to see Coach K to go out on top. Like you said, we can't write it. So that would be.
And I mean, UNC tough too. I mean, they got hot at the right time. I mean, they RJ Davis and those guys over there, man. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. They feel like they're underdogs and things like that. So they've been going out and they've been scrapping. I mean, last week I picked St. Peter's. I think I wanted them to win, but I felt like they was going to lose, and of course they lost. No, yeah. I had them beating. Yeah. No, I had them losing to Purdue, and Purdue ended up losing, or whatever the case might be. But North Carolina definitely got some. They got some dogs too, man. And both games should be great. I'm just praying that both of my teams that I picked will play in the championship game and go from there. But and speaking of St. Peter's, man, Shaheen Holloway, man, he left St. Peter's and he went to Seton Hall, and he had his team in the press conference. I thought that was dope, man. Even though he left, he still made, his team still went to the press conference and they supported him. So I definitely wanted to shout that out real quick too. But it should be some interesting games.
Yeah, most definitely shout out to that. I thought there was the Seton Hall. How you pronounce his name?
Shaheen Holloway.
Shaheen Holloway. I thought that was a good look. I thought Seton Hall most definitely said, "Oh, nah, we gonna flex on you, St. Peter's, real quick."
We gonna offer him the bread that y'all can't offer him, and he used to play for Seton Hall, so it made it even better. What I'm saying? But they definitely threw a bag that St. Peter's couldn't match, I'm sure. They definitely threw that bag, and I'm interested to see if some of the players try to transfer, to Seton Hall, so they can still, play for them.
That would be dope.
Yeah,
that most definitely would be a good look. I would like that a lot, actually.
Yeah,
it'll make me feel a little better, because I do think Seton Hall straight bully St. Peter's.
They let the other coach, they let Kevin Willard, they was like, all right, yeah, okay, you left. All right, cool. We're gonna go after this dude. We're going after Shaheen. So they definitely went after him, man. And they got him.
Yeah, what's the big black dude on number 5 for UNC? Look like the dude from the Goonies.
Shit, man. Don't give me
back cop.
I can't think of his name. It's something I know who you're talking about.
I think he's gonna be a difference maker, man. I think he's gonna be the difference maker. So I hope he don't spoil Coach K show, but I think they're gonna have to come prepared for him. I think for some reason
Baycott. That's his name.
Baycott. Thank you. I think. But yeah, I just want to watch it. I just want to watch it. I can't really call it. I think Canada's gonna pull it out, but it's gonna be great. What a time to be alive, as people say. We complain a lot, but we most definitely is in a good time to be alive as far as sports and everything. Very competitive, athleticism. Just we get to see the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, we like to compare times and everything, but when it's all said and done, like, there's been greats in other time, but as it is, as a whole, I think we are in the greatest time of history in a lot of ways. But that's neither here nor there. What is here is we're gonna jump over to keeping it basketball, jump over to the NBA and touch on this playoff race real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say I love my Lakers, but
get it out the way. You go get it out the way early, huh?
Yeah, we're not gonna be in this playoffs this year, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm happy to see all the talent that's in the NBA and looking forward to a great playoffs. But Lakers, sheesh, I couldn't have called it at the beginning of the season. You couldn't tell me what's gonna make the playoff.
It be like that sometimes, man. And you know, LeBron sent out the April Fool's tweet saying that he out for the season, you know, for the remainder of the season, which is like 4 or 5 games, 5 or 6 games. It's probably better that he just stay out anyway, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
maybe.
You know, but hey, but
Yeah.
yeah, you know, and I wish G was here because I don't want to say I told you so, but I had that feeling. But I will say I did not think that I didn't think that the Pelicans or the Spurs would be the ones to have a chance to go into the 10th spot. Like I thought the Lakers would be in the playing game based off default. Like I was like, man, the Pelicans don't have a shot, the Spurs don't have a shot, and the Spurs, they winning right now. They up 20 on Portland. Whew. And you know, the Lakers just been, you know, I thought LeBron would have been able to do what, you know, LeBron does. I thought he would have been able to win a few games on his own, you know, as he's already done. But shit, I'm like you, man. I don't think they're gonna make it. I felt like they wasn't gonna make it before, but yeah. And tonight they playing. I don't know if Anthony Davis is playing because they're playing right now. And you know, I got the women's game on, but you know, I don't know if he's playing or not. But we definitely know LeBron isn't playing. So
I say Anthony Davis in the outfit. I don't know if it was real, but he looked like he should have been playing in the women's game with that damn outfit he had on.
So hey, that's a lot of these dudes. Shit, I seen Kuzma with one of them Jones on too. You know what I'm saying?
I'm really I'm for everybody, but you know, sometimes motherfuckers confuse me. I just like to know what's what, you know. That's all.
But hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. When they traded for Westbrook, I didn't really think the Lakers was gonna really be. I thought they would have made the playoffs, but I didn't think that they were gonna get far. You know, Westbrook, and I thought that there wasn't enough space. I thought it was gonna be crowded. And it's not even just talking about Westbrook. I just didn't think that the flow and the spacing was gonna be good enough. And then of course they had like the oldest roster and things like that. But I thought they would have at least been in the play-in game, and they may have got to the first round, but yeah, it don't even look like they're gonna do that. But would you if the Lakers so happen to make it, you know, would you rather see them out, or would you rather see them in the playoffs and then get bounced in the first round? Because they would probably be playing Phoenix, and I don't think they're gonna beat Phoenix, but no, crazy shit happens.
I mean, as a Lakers fan, I would most definitely love to see him. I would love to see them make it.
Even if they get smoked in the playoffs.
Even if they get smoked, I would love to see him. You know what I'm saying? That's just the fan in you, because now you feel like you got a shot. You know what I'm saying? We're here. You know what I'm saying? So you feel like you got a shot. So as a fan, as a Laker fan, I would love to see them. As a basketball fan, as an NBA fan, I don't per se care to see them in the playoffs because they haven't shown me that they're a fucking playoff team. So I don't want to see them in the playoffs. As an NBA fan, as a basketball fan, as a competitive, you know, they don't show me that they are good. Like you said, they probably get smoked. So I mean, but as a Laker fan, of course I want to see it. As a basketball fan, it's like nah.
Because I mean, I think the playoffs are gonna. I think, you know, and I was gonna ask you this question too. Again, the NBA making moves and stuff like that. The playing game, right? This is why, you know, sometimes you gotta keep shit the same, right? I know they wanted to change the playoff, you know, structure, so they added the playing game. So now we're gonna see, you know, the possibility of the Spurs, who are 31-45, get a chance to make the playoffs. Like, let's just say they get hot and they knock out the Clippers or the Timberwolves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a 31-40. Like, do we really want to see the Spurs in the playoffs? I mean, people in San Antonio probably want to see them, but regular NBA, like, we don't want to see them. We want to see the 8 best teams.
Yeah.
So I think, I got the Clippers I got the Timberwolves being in the 7th spot and the Clippers being in the 8th spot. I think all the other teams in the Western Conference are going to stay there. They might do a little bit of moving around. I think Golden State is probably going to slide maybe from 3 to maybe 6, possibly. But I do think they'll make the playoffs. I think Phoenix, Memphis, Dallas, Utah, and the Nuggets will all make it. I think Minnesota and the Clippers are going to end up being in the playoffs as well. On the East side, I think Cleveland is going to miss the playoffs. They're in the playoff position, play-in position right now, and I think that they're going to miss the playoffs. And I think Brooklyn is going to move into the 7th spot, which is currently being held by Cleveland, and I think the Hawks are going to end up getting the 8th seed and playing in the playoffs, and I think Cleveland is going to miss it.
Cleveland is ahead by 2 games right now.
Yeah, they're ahead of Brooklyn by 2 games, but I think they're
ahead of Brooklyn Hornets and the Hawks by 2 games. 42-35 is Cleveland. 40-37 is the Nets, Hornets, and Hawks.
Yeah, and I believe the Hawks played the Cavaliers. If they didn't play them last night, I know they play them like within a day or 2. So they play each other. So whoever wins that, if Cleveland loses that game, they're gonna be in trouble. Because Brooklyn is getting hot. I know they lost to Milwaukee last night by 1, but I think Brooklyn has a pretty favorable schedule. I think they may play only one more, tough team, but Cleveland plays their schedule is a little bit more difficult. So, and I think Atlanta is getting kind of hot at the right time. So I don't know. That's how I got it shaking out. I don't think Cleveland is gonna make it. I think they're gonna slide out. They're gonna slide on out, man.
Interesting. Yeah. I like when it's that wet where I just slide on out. Oh. But anyway, I told you I'm on one.
Slow down, Willie. Slow down.
Anyway, I had a reason for doing that. Kind of, sort of, not really, but I'm gonna make it a reason for doing that. Last week we was talking about Golden State sliding out of the 3rd spot, which they are maintaining so far. They hold it firm and tight and strong in there in the 3rd spot right now still. So they haven't slid out like we thought they was. So just wanted to make a mention of that. I already said on that west side, I don't think my Lakers is going to make it. I think it stays how it is. I think it stays how it is on that side. I don't think my Lakers going to make it. I felt it interesting that you thought Cleveland was going to drop 3 spaces in essence.
Well, I think that because they're in the playoff spot. Atlanta smacked them last night. Atlanta beat the shit out of them last night. It was what? The final score was 131 to 107, right? So they're going to be in the playing game. You know what I'm saying? So the way that I look at it right now, if Brooklyn stays in the 8th spot right now, then Cleveland has to play Brooklyn. I don't really see Brooklyn beating. I don't really see Cleveland beating Brooklyn.
Okay.
And right now, the Hawks will be playing. The Hawks will be playing the Hornets, which I think Charlotte is a dangerous team, but I think the Hawks can beat them. And then they would have to play the Cavaliers to see who gets the final spot. And I think the Hawks will beat the Cavaliers because that's how the plan works.
Okay. Yeah. I got you. So
that's why I got them out.
I just seen them in the 8th spot and figured they wouldn't. But as you stated, they would be in the playing game because they are in the 8th spot and they would have to play Brooklyn.
Yeah, But Atlanta plays Brooklyn tomorrow, and both teams are 40-37. So anything could happen. The Nets, Hornets, and Hawks, they're all tied at 40-37. And Brooklyn plays Atlanta tomorrow. Somebody got to lose, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, most definitely going to be interesting. A team that doesn't have to worry about if they're going to be in the playoff is the Milwaukee Bucks, who I don't even know how to pronounce this dude's name. I'm going to call him the Greek Freak. I mean, I know who he is very well. I'm not saying like I don't know who he is. I just don't know how to pronounce his name. People say it so casually. They say Giannis, but when I read it, it looks like it's hard to say.
A bunch of alphabets put together.
Yeah. Especially. Well, anyway.
Go ahead and say it, man. Go ahead and say it so we can get a good laugh, man.
I'm gonna call him Giannis. I think I've heard people say that word enough. His first name, right? Yeah. So the Greek Freak, he becomes the leading scorer of the Milwaukee Bucks. Not necessarily surprising. Like I say, Greek Freak. When you think of Milwaukee Bucks, I really don't. There's nobody really that jumps out to me. You know, I don't know. You had Ray Allen over there early. But there's nobody over there that jumps out to be like, oh wow, you know, I'm surprised that he passed him. You know, he's a great player.
It was I believe it was Oscar Robertson who he passed.
I played in Milwaukee. See, I thought it was an older player, but I couldn't. Okay. So we have Oscar Robertson over there. But where did Oscar finish his career, or where did he go? He didn't stay there long, did he?
Shit. Let me see. I think he did. Because he passed Oscar Robertson. What did he?
So Oscar Robertson was the previous.
But what did Giannis pass him for? Was it assist? I believe it was assist last night. Nah, was it? It was points he passed him for, right?
I see he was with Milwaukee for 1, 2, 3. I see 3 seasons.
I'm sorry. He passed
4 seasons.
I'm sorry. He passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the all-time scoring list. That's what he did. My fault. For
Milwaukee? But yeah. Jabbar was over there. Yeah. That's what I was thinking about initially. Jabbar, I didn't know the Big O was over there too, though. Yeah, you didn't see that. You know, no offense to nobody. We know our shit. You know what I'm saying? You see, we got it together, but we up there, especially to our younger listeners. But we talk about 70s. I don't think we that up there. So, but we know our shit.
I knew he had passed one of the greats. I wasn't able to watch a lot of the game. I had a family emergency I was dealing with yesterday, so I wasn't able to fully watch the game like I really wanted to. I did see, I heard about it, of course, via social media that he had passed Kareem, and that's dope, man. Looking from where Giannis came from, like, just in the NBA, he was a real skinny kid when he entered the NBA. He got some weight on him, pause. He got stronger and things like that, and he just been putting up numbers, man. He won the MVP twice. He's got his team in a good position, and he's now got a jump shot, a little bit of a jump shot. He's hitting his free throws, like he's constantly improving. So to see that he passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on an all-time scoring list is just a testament to show that, even when you get to the NBA, you still got to work on your game. And so I'm happy with, for Giannis. I've got an opportunity to actually meet Giannis. I ain't really talked to him like that, but I spoke to him. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Real down to earth guy, real cool guy. So you like to see those kind of guys, do good and do well. So shout out to him for doing that, folks, for winning, for passing Kareem.
Yeah. When we think of Giannis, we think of one of the better players indeed in the league. Would you say he is the best player in the league at this point in time?
Man. So, what's funny, man? I'm gonna answer your question definitely. I was reading a tweet from one of the on-air personalities, this dude named Nick Wright. He had tweeted that he basically tweeted that Giannis has surpassed Kevin Durant. He said, to read it to be exactly, he said, I legit feel for KD. He had to be the second best to LeBron for a decade and a moment. And a moment he might have passed LeBron, Giannis passed him. Second player out of high school, second picked in the draft, second best player in the NBA for life. Legit awful luck. I disagree with that. I do think Giannis is one of the better players. He's definitely up there. I don't think he's better than KD, me personally, but I definitely think Giannis is top 3 players in the league. And I mean, you got Embiid, you got Jokic, still can argue you got LeBron, but I definitely think he's up there. I don't think he's better than KD, but he's definitely up there. Definitely up there.
Giannis it's interesting. It's interesting, man. It's interesting because I think when Giannis showed us last year is he may not be the most skilled player. He may not be the best player at any one thing. There's somebody that's better than him at almost everything that he's do. But for him to be his size and have the athleticism that he do, the quickness that he do, I say he's constantly improving. He got a decent jump shot. He even trying to move it out to the 3-point line, and he knocked those down sometimes. He's just so long, man. And unlike KD, he actually see.
Go ahead, though, man.
I've been purposely trying to get you to say pause this whole damn show. And then the one time I'm not even trying to, here it is. But I love it. I love the authenticity.
Man, I didn't mean to cut you up. You said, but I like KD.
Unlike KD, Giannis actually put on some weight. You know what I'm saying? He put on some size. Yeah. So I think if KD would have put on just a little bit more size, he really would have been a force to be reckoned with. Not like he's not one now, but you can kind of like push him around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that always put him at an odd compared to a player like Giannis who can have his way. I mean, if Giannis imposes his will, I think he's a force like Shaq, except he's faster than Shaq. He's not as big as Shaq.
Yeah, and he's got a jump shot. You know what I'm saying?
And he got a jump shot.
Last night, he had a step back 3 to send the game into overtime. You know what I'm saying? So, if his jump shot was more consistent or in rhythm and things like that, like Giannis could be really, really scary. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because he can get to the basket whenever he wants to. Like you were speaking, you talking about his speed and things like that. And it's hard if he continues to work on his offense, you know what I'm saying, get a few back down moves, post up moves, something like that. Like Giannis could easily be one of the, if not the best player in the league. I don't think he surpassed KD yet, and I'm sure it's a possibility he can, because I think he's got he's younger. KD is kind of like, I don't want to say towards the end of his career, but
but he is.
But you know what I'm saying, age-wise, I don't know how long he could play. But
the ball spider on top of his nappy ass head tell you so.
But I don't think Giannis is better than KD, but I do think he is at least top 3 right now, definitely.
I don't know if I want to put him up there, because I probably would put a lot of players ahead of him, because when I'm just thinking of skilled players, even like Kyrie, I personally, from a personal standpoint, I would put Kyrie ahead of Giannis. But one thing I would give to that class of this new school is what we didn't see a lot of when we was watching basketball a little bit younger. We seen great players, but we didn't see them really evolve into their full potential. You know what I'm saying? Like you see Giannis, and like you see Ja Moore early, You see Devin Booker. You see a lot of players who came into the league, I would say mediocre, with tons of potential, and they found the way to max out their potential. And I think a lot of the players that we saw had probably more potential, but they just didn't. You know, the mindset wasn't there. It was a lot of different reasons. I think a lot of it had to do with the mindset. You know, but you got to pave the way. You know, we came in and our generation made it possible for them to have the money, the resources, and everything that they have today.
But I also think the game has evolved. I mean, you know, now you like when Dirk was in the game, right? You know, Dirk was, you know, a big man shooting threes. You know what I'm saying? Like you really didn't have that. I don't want to say before he got there, but you know, players start realizing as they got older, like, yo, you know, we need to try to see if we can start hitting a few threes. You know what I'm saying? Like try to further our career. You know what I'm saying? And the game has just come to that point now where you got to have a jump shot. That's why I'm curious to see when Ben Simmons, whenever he gets back on the court, if he starts shooting. Because to be honest, Ben Simmons and Giannis, as far as like offensive game, was kind of the same. Like they both were good downhill players attacking the basket. Neither one of them really had a jump shot. They were both bad at shooting free throws. And now Giannis can shoot free throws and he got a little better jump shot. So it's like, man, the game is constantly evolving. And, you know, now they shooting from fucking mid-court now. You know what I'm saying? So, and just imagine it. And Giannis is supposed to be the best player. And like he just said, he doesn't want to be a player that's limited to one or two things. He wants to be able to do it all on the court. And I commend him for trying to, you know, for constantly working on his game and improving. So, but I definitely, I put him in my top three. You know what I'm saying? If I'm starting a team, you know, he's definitely in my top three, man.
Yeah, just switch gears. Gonna go to a sport that you're pretty fond of. I'm not so much, but that don't baseball. We haven't started quite yet, but we're going to jump out there with some early predictions. Yeah, my prediction is going to be off some even though I say I don't like it, it's going to be off some fuck shit kind of sort of. But I'm going to give it to you to give me a more accurate prediction of who you think may win this World Series in the baseball league, in the Major League Baseball.
My pick is going to be biased. So I'm a Braves fan. So, of course, I think my squad is going to run it back, although we lost Freddie Freeman. But I think we're going to run it back, man. You know, I know the Dodgers, they loaded over there as far as talent. They just signed a pretty good relief closer and Craig Kimbrell, who used to pitch for Atlanta as well. But I'm going with, of course, it's only right for me to go with my team. So I'm going with the A. I'm going with my boys down in Atlanta, man. I think we're going to run it back. And that's just the bottom line because Jae Jones said so, goddamn it. Like, that's who I'm running with. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of good teams out there, but I'm going with my squad to win it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a clue, but I dig their colors.
Hey, man, I get you a jersey and a shirt, man, and you know, we go to a Nats game, man, and stir some shit, man, cause some trouble.
Oh yeah. I'm most definitely down. You know, it's not that I'm against it by no means. I love sports as a whole. I really do. I love sports as a whole. You know, just I sucked at it. You know.
Pause.
But yeah. But no, I was really bad at it, and so it never resonated with me because I couldn't play the game. You know, I couldn't hit for nothing. Couldn't hit for shit. You know, I could catch with the mitt. Like so it wasn't something that, you know, it was probably the only sport that I didn't have some type of ability to play. So I never really got into it.
Gotta have that eye hand coordination, man. You know, I will say catching and I'm gonna pause myself before I say this. You know, when you're catching those fly balls, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it can be difficult sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You know, the ball may get lost in the sun or something like that. You know, but you know, it's just it's hard in the pause. It's difficult in the city if you grow up in the city because it's not like a lot of baseball fields and things like that. So it's an expensive sport that you got to play. I played a little bit of baseball when I was in middle school. You know, I was pretty decent, but you know, it's a game it's fun when you play it, but it's, you know, people complain when they watch it, and I get it because the game is, you know, could be very boring and it could be very, you know, it could take a lot of time, but it's not bad. Even when you go to a live game, it's pretty cool, but you know, you know.
Yeah, I've always dug the. I'm gonna say culture, but I don't want to, you know, overuse that word in this situation. But I've always did the culture of baseball. And I always did, like, you know, the dugout. It's like a, you know, back in the day they'd be out there chewing on the tobacco. It really was like a man sport. You know, everybody's out there kind of, in a sense, kicking the shit, having a good time. It seems like you said, if you're a part of it, it most definitely seemed like a good time.
Yeah, like just going to I mean, it's like any sport, man. Like if you play it and you involved in it, like you know, it's gonna be fun to be around others that are doing the same thing. But you know, to get back to your question too, you know, you got a few good teams. You got like the Yankees, you got the Padres, even though Fernando Tatis is out for 3 months. You got a lot of good teams that are, you know, got a shot at it. You know, the favorites are going to be the Dodgers because they got a loaded ass fucking rosters. But you know, you got the Yankees, you know, coming out the AL West. I mean, out the AL East. You got the Tampa Bay Rays. They pretty decent too. Shit. So you got a few pretty good teams. But like I said, I'm gonna run with my team. We all got to get out to a game. I know G is a Nats fan, so you know, we got to get out to one of them things. So
yeah, I made it out to the parade. Like I said, I made it out to the parade when the
when they
Nationals
won,
won a few years back. Yeah, I made it out
yeah.
there. Yeah,
I was in Atlanta last year, baby. I was out there partying with the Braves, man. We drove down there and everything, bruh.
Oh,
I
no,
was out there.
yeah.
26
That's what's up.
years, B. I was out there.
See,
Hey, man,
I ain't new to this. I'm true to this, huh?
Hey, man, I'm just trying to say it was a spur of the moment trip, man. They won and shit. We was like, yo, what you want to do? Shit, let's go. So we drove 8-9 hours down there. We stayed at a hotel right across the street from the stadium. Matter of fact, the hotel was connected to the stadium. So we just got up. We was able to get tickets to go to the, you know, they ended the parade in the stadium. So we was able to get tickets to go there. You know, they had a little concert. They had Ludacris. They had Big Boy from Outkast there performing. Killer Mike and them was in there in the building. So it was definitely a dope time. So ATL, we gonna run it back, baby.
Most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. I go out there for all them artists you just named.
Hey, we was in that motherfucker partying, bro. We was in that junk getting it. Took the kids and everything. We was all partying.
Another sport that I mean, I never played organized, but I did like to play soccer at one point in time. A lot of time. Recently, you had the United States. I used to play soccer to the Migos used to kick me in my shin. Migos, they dirty, man. Like, for real. Sorry, I don't mean to sound that way, but the Spanish people, when I was younger and I was in elementary school, when I used to play soccer, I used to run up and down. It takes a lot of cardio. You know, you got to be in great shape, but you know, it's a really. But yeah, they you get all the way down the field, get ready to score goals. Somebody come kick you in your shin. I couldn't mess with them, man. I couldn't mess with them. I had to. That's when I started playing basketball. I had to take to the basketball court. You know?
Back to the court we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, soccer's fun as shit though. But like you did, like they are one of the most in shape athletes out there, because that shit is a lot of running. You ain't lying about that.
Yeah. And it was most definitely
That shit
fun.
fun though. That
Yeah.
shit fun. That shit fun.
The United States men's national soccer team qualifies, excuse me, for the World Cup since 2014. I
Man.
had no clue that they had such a drought. I, I did. I had no clue. I had no clue. I mean, yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know where I've been.
Nah, I'm with you. I thought it was. I mean, I didn't realize the last time they weren't in there was 2014. I guess it feels that is right because I mean, shit. I feel like I don't know, man. Like it's been a while, but they made it. I don't know what the chances are of them winning it. Um, I normally root for, I normally root for France, and Belgium because of some of the players that they have. But I'm interested to see what they do. The females are always the United States women are more popular, of course, than the men's side. So I I always used to think they just got there and got bounced, but the World Cup is every 4 years though.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? So that could be another reason why the drought has been so long. So
Yeah, I want to say I've been to one, but shit, I was
you been
young
to
and
a World
I
Cup
could
game?
just I want to say, but I like I said, I was young. It could have just been a hype ass game, man. But I remember I was young. I can't
Lit.
remember. It was lit. I think it was an RFK Stadium. If it was ever an RFK Stadium, there's a possibility. If it wasn't,
You was in the
then
building.
yeah.
I ain't mad at
But yeah,
that,
it was
yeah.
most definitely a live experience. Whole
I'm
building.
trying
Well,
to
they
get you
always
this.
said the RFK Stadium used to be rocking, but the whole building was
Literally.
rocking. It
Yeah.
was somewhere. I don't know. Don't quote me, but I've been to a soccer game. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to one. I never been to a soccer game.
It was fun. Most definitely an experience that I still have to this day. I've been to a lot of different sporting events. I even seen Michael Jordan when he was with the Wizards, and it doesn't stick with me like that soccer game did.
Yeah, that's
So
when Michael. I don't know which game you went, but depending on which game it was, Mike, depending probably what Mikey was gonna get. You know what I'm saying? He was declining, of course, when he was with the Wizards.
yeah, he still was Mike though. Just
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. Just to see
just the
Mike, period.
experience. Yeah,
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 that's dope. I
yeah.
can't
That
say what
soccer
I said.
game still stuck out more though. I still remember the soccer game. So if y'all ever get a chance to catch a soccer game, if you haven't, my opinion is that you most definitely catch a soccer game or any sporting event. It's really I love them. Really a great time. College, high school,
Yeah,
little league. You name it. Professionals. When we get together in that atmosphere, I really really enjoy it. Um, but nonetheless, unless you have anything left to add to our show tonight, my man Jay, my brother, I am just about done.
I just wanna shout out a happy birthday to the late great Sean Taylor, man. Today he would have been
True, true.
he'd have been 39. You know what I'm saying? He was gone left us too early, man. Sean Taylor was one of my favorite players ever. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to take the time out to wish him a happy heavenly birthday, man. I've done it on all of my social media platforms. So happy birthday, Sean Taylor. You know, we know you with us in spirit and you watching over us above, man. So happy birthday, ST.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm saying as a Commander fan, like I said, Washington football team, formerly known as the Washington Redskins, however you want to look at them or don't look at them. Sean Taylor is most definitely um, a prize. Don't want to say possession, but he's most definitely a prize athlete, a prize figure around
Yeah,
these parts. So shout out to Sean Taylor. Just another reminder that we gotta stop all of the dumb stuff, man. People work hard
yeah,
for the things that they accomplish, and to have somebody take their life away for trying to take material things away, always tragic, man. So we gotta do better.
definitely, most definitely.
Man Cave Sports Podcast is all I have to say. 613 Faye Productions. I'm Willie P. You can follow me at Willie Beeman on Facebook. And like I said, we'll get this shit right another week. And I ain't got it yet, but we'll figure it out. Shoot it over to my man Jay to give his tags and everything.
Hey man, Jae Jones on everything, man. Facebook, I even popped open with a TikTok account, man. So Jae Jones 15 on TikTok. I ain't doing no dances though, but you know what I'm saying. Jae Jones 15 on TikTok and Jae Jones on Facebook, Twitter, and IG, man. Holla at me. You know what I'm saying?
Deep Man Cave Sports Podcast, 613 Faye Productions. We out.
Holla at you.